At the National Gas Company, put aside everything you think you know about this company and understand a few main things. Yes, it's a major player at the heart of energy transactions, which keep the economy afloat. But it also supplies power to the main grid that keeps your lights on, your signals up and spinning. This is one of those companies that can't afford to falter in an emergency. COVID-19 was a global emergency, and the ability to anticipate, build in redundancies and backups is the kind of undertaking that can make or break, well, just about anything.
We didn't have the opportunity to sit back and wait because of the nature of the work that we do. A lot of what the government was actually doing at the time hinged on being able to provide power. And we provide gas to that power. So, safe and reliable supply of gas to those critical customers was very, very important to us. Hi, my name is Himalaya Boodoosingh, Senior Manager, Health, Safety, Security and Environment at the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago. There would be some activities that we needed to physically be here to do. We're managing a critical infrastructure in our pipeline networks, and some of that can be done remotely, some can't. So how do we create the environment to manage the risk while still being physically present? I think that was one of the first challenges we had. Fortunately, at the time, we had just implemented a new contract for janitorial services. We were able to actually change the requirements for how often sanitization was being done and how we actually went about doing sanitization. We saw this evolution not just here at NGC, but I think across the industry, moving from a time-based sort of outcome to more deliverable-based. So it's not about how much time you spend in the work, but it's about what you deliver, how you actually measure it, and you performance manage based on that. I think that was one of the things that we discovered that worked really well. So flexibility, allowing people not just to be able to work from home, but flexible work hours. Some people are more efficient between 10 and 12 in the day, because between 8 and 10 they're setting up their kids. I remember one person telling me, we're not working from home, we're actually confined to our homes during a global pandemic and we're trying to work. And there's a difference between the two. And I think we as the leadership within the organization sort of quickly realized that difference as well. And changed the way we actually went about doing it.
Since last March, employers have had time to reassess what's truly essential to the success of their business. Workers, in turn, have been able to reconsider the daily demands their jobs place on their lives, how the jobs contribute to their well-being, what's worth it, and what's crucial or not. International studies coming out of this pandemic seem to suggest that too often firms under-communicate out of fear of how these messages will be received. But the research is showing that conveying as much information as possible, being almost overly transparent, helps businesses win trust. This is what seems to have happened here.
We sort of became a source of information to our employees and our employees' families as well. And once we sort of recognized the role that we were playing in that regard, the way in which we go about communicating and the content that we provided went far just beyond, what is required for work. One of the first things we did is really try to understand what work needed to be done. Because, I think that's something that NGC as well as other businesses really understood better over the last year. What really is critical work, what is important, what it's not. And then once you get around that, then you find that people more gravitate to what is critical in terms of delivering. And because of that, you see the efficiency go up, because you see the important things being delivered first. And we do recognize that the future work is going to be different. Like you said, there are some things that are going to stay. There's some things that probably won't come back. We've actually gotten a jump start on that as well. We've started thinking about that. We recently set up a series of work streams looking at different components for the future of work. And we've staffed that with cross-functional team members that report back into, senior leaders across the group with ideas about what that would look like. There are a few things that, sort of obviously come to mind immediately. One is about infrastructure. We have seen persons being more efficient working remotely in some cases. That isn't the case for everyone. So in those instances, definitely that's going to be something that stays. One of the things we need to look at as well is the policies that support that type of working in the future. I can see our HR team being very busy in terms of rewriting policies that conform with what that future of work, future will looks like.